This. All right, so we are going to move into our 30 minutes of just a nice stretchy Yin Yin mashup here. So if you've got blocks, you want those. Otherwise, we'll actually get started in a butterfly position today. So you want to find a comfortable seat and bring the soles of your feet together and just let your knees draw open. They don't need to be tucked in super, super tight. And if you know that you like support for your head in forward folds, then you can have your blocks nearby. Otherwise, just take a moment just to settle here. Let the tops of your hands settle to the tops of your, or let your hands settle to the tops of your knees. Let your shoulders just settle down your back. Close down the eyes. And take a full deep breath through your heart space and into the pit of your belly. Fill up. And open up, exhale. Let that breath go. Another deep, full inhale, just like that, filling up through your heart space. And open up, exhale. Let that go. And you can either stay up like this if this is feeling like enough for you to start, or take a breath in, and as you exhale, just begin to slowly walk your hands forward to allow your forehead to fold forward. So we get this heaviness in the back body, in the back of the neck. But just notice where you feel sensations in this shape. If you don't like the tug on the back of your neck, that's where the stacked blocks just placed on top of your feet can be really nice to meet your forehead and just support some of that extra weight. But as you notice those sensations in your back body, notice that the longer you stay in this posture, the sensations will change and they'll shift. Maybe something that felt like tension, as soon as you met it, starts to melt and feels a bit easier. Let your arms be heavy, let the knees be heavy. Take a breath in. Exhale that out. And as you inhale, slowly rise. Just let your shoulders stack over your hips here. Reach down to the outside of your knees. Let your legs go long. Set your hands down behind you and maybe just rock the feet from side to side for a moment. And now cross right ankle over left thigh, think figure four. Walk the left foot back towards your heel. And then you'll want to sit nice and tall. So what happens, especially if we're tight, is we start to round in. Can you root down, sit really nice and tall, and just press your chest towards the thigh. And then that right knee, if it starts to collapse in, can you just energetically push it away from the body? Breathe into the outside of your right hip here. And maybe you need a little bit more space, so you walk the left foot forward, but I just want you to rock the hips from side to side now. You might notice on the outside of your right hip where your IT band inserts that it's a little bit tender. You can even massage on the outside of that right hip as you find the outside of the hip there. And draw back through center, extend through the left leg. You'll bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. So think hips squared here. Left knee can have a nice bend in it if that would feel better on the hamstring, but deep, full breath in. And as you exhale, find a fold over the left leg. So again, I'm letting the back of my head or the front of my head get heavy. Now breathing into my left hamstring. Inhale, slowly rise. Right hand plants behind your right hip, left hand finds right thigh. Big inhale, exhale, just twist, look back over your right shoulder. Now keep your left hand on that right thigh. Right fingertips are just going to reach like you're trying to touch your left toes. So notice as you come into this shape, the right hip wants to pop up. That's okay to an extent, but if you can, root down through the right hip so that you really get that stretch through the right thigh. Inhale, draw right back through center. And same thing, my hands are just gonna find the floor behind me, extend both legs, shake them out, maybe rock the feet side to side. Then we'll switch sides. Left ankle comes to the top of the right thigh. I just hug that or step the right foot back. Hands are behind. Sit nice and tall. Just energetically press the left knee away from the body. Now walk that left foot forward just slightly so that you can take that drop from side to side. And again, you can always pause and find those little circles on the outside of the left hip, massaging the outside of the hip a bit. Now come back through center, extend your right leg long, left foot now comes to the inside of the thigh. Big, deep, full breath in, root down, rise. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Again, you can have a bend in the right knee if that would feel good. Inhale, rise. Right hand finds left thigh, left hand's on the earth behind you. Big, deep, full breath in. Just exhale, twist, look over your left shoulder. Now keep hold of the thigh. Just sweep the left fingertips over, getting a side body stretch. Come back through center. Hands find the earth behind you. And again, just take those legs out front, shake them out. We'll move over to a tabletop from here. So just shimmy the legs behind you. You'll just find some shimmies from side to side through your hips, maybe some cat cows if that would feel good. But just move through the spine. Now inhale, right fingertips to sky, full deep breath in. As you exhale, thread the right arm through right cheek, right ear finds the mat, left fingertips reach forward to thread the needle. Take an inhale. As you exhale, right fingertips back to the sky, full breath in, exhale, tabletop. We'll switch sides. Left hand reaches to sky. Exhale, thread it through. And again, you're just finding weight in that outer shoulder, allowing the stretch to happen. Draw back through center, left fingertips reach. Exhale, tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, find downward facing dog. Pedal out in that down dog. Take a breath in. As you exhale, walk your hands back to your feet, ragdoll at the back of your mat. Catch opposite elbows, knees can be bent deeply here, sway. Breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Reach all the way to ceiling here. Now take your left hand around your right wrist. Just take your side body stretch to the left. So right hips pop out open to the side. I find a banana arch in the body. Inhale, center. Switch sides. Right hand finds left wrist. Drop over towards the left or right. Back through center. Release the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, walk it all the way out to plank. Set your knees to the ground and lower all the way to belly. Take your hands off the edges of your mat. So just think finger pads on the ground. Big, deep, full breath in and rise through the heart, serpent cobra. Exhale, lower. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Don't worry about how high, lower. 1 more time, lift. And lower. Hands come back under your shoulders, knees stay down, press yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal and move. Take the breath. On the exhale, bend your knees, look between your hands, tiny little steps as you walk towards the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back. We'll find a kneeling lunge here. So that left knee finds the earth. You can always have a blanket under the back knee, or you can fold up your mat too if it doesn't feel good to have pressure on the top of the knee. So as you find this kneeling lunge, bring your hands to the top of your quad. And then activate the left glute as you sink the right hip forward. So I really want you to create some space. So instead of being in a 90-90 stack where you're down, create some space in that left hip flexor. And I think that my AirPods have died. So if the sound gets bad, then please let me know. They've given me multiple warnings now. I forgot to charge them, so sorry. Take a breath in. As you exhale, frame the front foot, send your hips back for your runner's lunge or half split. So I've got blocks today just because my hamstrings feel super, super tight. You might point and flex the front toes just a few times just to kind of prime into that hamstring. And now lengthen through crown of head, send your hips back as you fold over that right hamstring. Take an inhale. As you exhale, sink into your right knee, pivot the back knee. So think kneeling, warrior 2. Bring the right elbow to the front of your thigh. Actually, before you do that, just rock a little bit into the inner groin here from front to back. Again, you can have a blanket under this back knee, or you can just come up to a stand as well. Now sink into the front knee, elbow finds the thigh, left fingertips reach over your ear. Make some big circles with that top arm to the front, and then switch directions to the back. Pause, breathe in. Exhale, hands are going to find the mat. And then I want you to tuck the back toes and lift. Find a wide leg forward fold. So all 10 toes point towards the left edge of your mat. Now, pigeon toe your feet just slightly. So that means turn your big toes slightly in and then press into the outer edges of your feet and let the crown of your head get really heavy here. Shift the weight into the front part of your foot and then notice your hamstrings as you do that. Just let your shoulders and your head be heavy. Inhale, plant your palms, lengthen your spine. So we'll just bend into the back knee just slightly. So just think like a little crouching lunge from front to back. So you might want to turn your toes out just a little bit for this and just rock from front to back. Really just getting into the inner groin with this. Back is nice and flat. Now I'm going to bend into that front knee very carefully, turn my hands and step to the top of the mat. Inhale, roll all the way to a stand. Reach the fingertips overhead. As you exhale, cactus out your arms. So draw your elbows towards one another. Maybe the pelvis draws forward, the chin lifts, the chest lifts. And release, reach overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, step your right foot back. We find a kneeling lunge here. So now my left knee is forward, my right knee is back. Bring the hands to the top of the quad. And again, create some space through the front of that right hip. Activate the right glute, and that's going to stretch more into the hip flexor on the right side. Take an inhale. As you exhale, send your hips back, find your runner's lunge, half split here. Or runner's stretch, not runner's lunge, sorry. Maybe point and flex that front foot just a little bit. Lengthen out through your spine. I'm trying to work that left leg straight as I fold, really drawing the left hip back. So I'm not rounded through my hips. My hips are square here. Sink back into the front knee, pivot that back knee, draw your hands up. We're just going to find that little rock from front to back in our kneeling warrior two. And then sink into the left knee, reach the fingertips over your ear. Now make those big arm circles to the back. And then switch to the front. Reach. Plant your hands. We step it up. Wide leg forward, fold. So just adjust your feet so that you can get there. Then find your fold. Bring your hands to the small of your back, flatten out your back, come all the way up to a stand from here. Now take your hands, interlace them at the base of your spine. So pressing palms of my hands together, roll your shoulders open and back, full deep breath in. And now exhale, find your fold once again. Maybe the hands pull up off the small of your back as you fold. Roll your shoulder blades towards your spine as you do this. Take an inhale. As you exhale, release your hands, lengthen your spine, turn your toes out slightly and just take that little rock from front to back once again. Maybe if you're feeling it, you can move a little bit lower and just take your rocking Skandasana. from front to back, but don't feel like you have to do that. And then we'll meet in that front knee, turn the hips, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, unravel, rise. Reach overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal and move. Take a deep, full breath in. Exhale, let that go. Inhale, right leg reaches. On the exhale, right knee, right wrist. We'll set up for a half pigeon. If you do not want to do a half pigeon, though, you can always come into your deer. So you drop to the right hip and take that 90-90 shape with the legs. It's much less intense on the knees. You'll still take your fold forward. So if you're in your half pigeon, big, deep, full breath in, and then find that exhale to fold forward. And make a pillow with your hands or have a block there. Make sure there's no pressure in the knee, the right knee. You want to make sure you're feeling this in the outside of your hip. So the hip draws back. And inhale, press up to your hands. Tuck the back toes. We lift up and back. Find your downward facing dog. You can also find big hip circles in the right hip if that would feel good. Then left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, left wrist, setting up either for your half pigeon or your deer on this side. Take the inhale to lengthen the spine first, and then as you exhale, find your fold. And press down, rise. Tuck the toes on the right foot, left leg comes up and back. Same thing, you can make some circles in the left hip if you'd like. And then set your knees to the ground. And we'll slowly lower all the way to a seat. Take your staff pose once again. So hands by the side, sit just really nice and tall. Make sure you're kind of scooched up to about the middle of your mat. Reach your arms forward, palms up, and then as you lower, lower with control. So that little scoop of the belly, slowly lower all the way down, then hug your knees in. When you get there, rock along your spine, massage all the muscles around the spine. And let the knees fall open, the ankles roll. And take your arms out to a T, let the knees fall to the right, find your spinal twist. So work your left shoulder towards the ground, look at your left hand as you do this. Inhale back through center. Let the knees fall to the left. Work that right shoulder down and look at your right hand. Inhale, center. Send both feet to the ceiling, arms come by your ribs, and just pause for a moment. Maybe the knees are bent just slightly, that's okay. We just want this reversal of blood flow and just relief through the feet, the ankles, and the legs. Now, as you move into Shavasana and lower the legs, once you start to feel your low back really arch up, I want you just to take the feet really nice and wide at that point and then let the legs settle, finding Shavasana from here. So the feet open, the palms open. There's an easy breath through the body for this final minute of your practice. And on an inhale, bring awareness back into your body. Find tiny movements in fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. You can draw one knee in and then the other, rocking again from side to side. And settle from on one side or the other for just a few breaths. And then use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to a seated position. Sitting tall and comfortably when you arrive. Draw your hands to prayer at heart center. You can close down the eyes, but take a deep, full breath in through your heart space and into the pit of your belly. Fill up, open up, let that go. Thank you so much for showing up in this space for yourself and for one another. The light within me recognizes and honors the light within each of you.